Hello and welcome to this digital camera magazine video tutorial. Here we're going to show you how to add blur to this racing car to replicate the effect of panning. So here we've got quite a static picture of a Formula 1 car flying past, and what we want to do is to blur the background with motion blur so that we get that panning look. And what we're also doing here is just to use two types of blur, one for the panning in the background and also a radial blur on the wheels. Otherwise it's going to be an absolute giveaway because the wheels in the original picture are actually quite static. So very simple to do. The first thing we need is to duplicate our background layer and cut out the actual Formula 1 car. So if we click on our background layer, drag it up to our new layer icon, then we're going to just use the lasso tool just to make a free selection around the car. And we're just doing it this way because it's very quick and easy. One important thing is just give yourself a little bit of leeway around the area, because what we're going to do after this step is just to use the brush tool to smooth in the before and after transitions. So there we go, we've made our selection. With our selection made, what we want to do is just to copy and paste that car into a new layer. So just go Control or Apple C and Control or Apple V, and that'll paste the car into a layer on its own. So there we've got our cutout of our car. Click back onto your background's copy layer, and we're now going to apply a motion blur effect to that layer. So if we go up to Filter, down to Blur, and down to Motion Blur, and we've got an angle of 0, and we've put our distance up to about 400 pixels. And you can see that's really blurred out the detail in the background and given it that panning look. So if we click OK, we can see at the moment it's a pretty rough cutout and doesn't look very realistic at the moment. So what we're going to do is to fake a layer mask just to help bring that in and smooth the transition between the pasted in car and the panning background. So if we go up to our adjustment layers, click on the adjustment layers and go down to levels, just click OK, and what we want to do is just link that adjustment levels layer to the car layer. So to do that, just drag in between the two layers, holding down Alt on your keyboard until you see the cursor change, click once, and you'll see that car clip itself to the levels adjustment layer. Now make sure you've got your brush selected, and we want to choose a black brush. Make sure you've got a soft edged brush selected, and we have our opacity at 100%. And now very simply all we want to do is just very carefully go around the edge of the car, and you see that soft edge brush is just nicely blending in the car layer into the background layer. So you can hardly see the transition between the two. So just quickly go around that, and what I'll do is I'll see you in the next part where we'll just add the motion blur to the wheels and just finish off the image and the blending in process.